Bum 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 bum. Tell me when it's time to go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Atomic Mass Transmissions Live. Today we're painting up a Fang fighter. Thought it'd be fun to paint this little feller up. I've been painting some X-Wing, as you can see on the table. This is my personal force of awesome bounty hunters that I'm still working on a name for. I don't know, I'm kind of stuck on crate dragons or rancors or something to play with that name. Red Rancors was the name that was presented and we thought was fun, but I haven't fully decided. But we're going to paint up a Fang fighter in some different colors. I'm just going to use some alternate rebel scheme. I want to do like the moment where the Fang fighters become rebel ships, and so I want to do like a rebellion type paint job on it. I picked up some painter tape, so I'll be using this to mark off some squad marks and some sweet lines, and we'll be painting that on. And instead of me yammering about it, we should just kick it to the mini cam and just get started. So welcome. Rusty Rancors, I love it. And you're live. I'm going to find the edge to this tape. I also have some reference. I was looking at a couple images. Always use your reference when you can. And I'm just going to take inspiration. I'm not going to copy. I'm just going to take inspiration. In the immortal words of many great artists, good artists copy, great artists steal. I'm not great, so I'm just going to be inspirationalized. Let's get some tape off here. Yeah, Outer Rim is our sister company, FFG. So if you need news about that, go to their website and check that out. Actually, I don't need my glove yet. I need some fidelity for my tapes. So my process when I do this, boop, boop, where's my camera, Tony?
Yeah, right about there.
Is that it? Right there?
A little closer too.
Right there. So I like to look at the shapes that are presented in the lines and try to come up with ways to utilize those existing lines. So I really like this shape, and so I think taking some tape and expanding that out, and then maybe finding a point or a square to go from. So maybe going from here to here and then over to kind of mimic this line, and we can actually utilize that line. So this can just all be red, I think, or maybe we leave a white stripe down the side. Let's see what we think as we do this. So I'm going to pull off some of this tape. I'm going to use a pair of clippers. I have a pair of like really fancy scissors I use sometimes too. But I left the scissors at home. Is my head in the way? No. Nailing it today, Tony. Nailing it. So this tape is not super sticky, so it's a little tricky to work with sometimes. Just kind of laying it on there. Like that. And I have a pair of really fine, delicate hobby scissors, but I left them at home. But this will do the trick. And then I'm going to go over. So I'm going to pick a spot. So we're kind of crossing that line. I don't want it to be perfectly parallel. So I'm going to go from this corner point to that corner point. Sometimes a toothpick is worthwhile here. This doesn't have to be perfect. If I get the marking a little off, I don't fret too much about that because you can clean up a tiny dot easier than you can clean up a whole line. If the tape kind of goes wonk. So like that's not going to be perfect, but I can block that in with a little red here in a little bit once I get all this red on. So I kind of like that. And do I want to end? That will end off. What other shape we want here? We're just going to have fun today.
There is a question in chat. Someone's asking if you strip the paint off the pre-painted chip first or if you just prime over it.
I didn't even prime. I took just a mix of white and gray and some other colors, and I just made like a mix of colors and just kind of slapdashed it right over the existing paint job. I didn't clear coat it. I didn't do anything. Get that tape. And I'm gonna freehand this other back. I'm gonna guesstimate on that part. Should be fine. Should be fine. What's the sorry you're gonna miss events? What is that? Tell me if I get off the screen.
Come down towards you a little bit. Yeah, it's better.
I want to run a white line right along this edge, like so. Yeah, I don't have the release dates for all those. I'm sure BK is in there somewhere answering those questions.
Bring it down.
Am I good?
Down a little more. I can adjust the camera a bit if it's...
Yeah, we might need to adjust the camera just a little bit.
Get a little shaky. There we go.
Something like that. I think the red's just going to utilize these. And this line. Yeah, I like that. What else should be red? I think we can cheat and just we should probably do a strip across the back of the wings. Wrestler Smeagol, the website is being worked on. I don't think there's any update. It's one of those things like there's not much to update. Things are being worked on. There's not really an update to present there. It's being done. It's probably one of those things that'll be like, and done. Oh, I did not get enough tape for that strip. Boo to me. Let's see here. Where are we eating donuts at? That's my question. Where's these donuts eatings happening? Oh, I wouldn't want to be a surgeon. That's too much responsibility. I don't want that much responsibility. I have enough responsibility as is. I like that line. Tony, do you see another line that would be good here? So this would be red, crossover, go across the canopy. I think we can just do that red, this red.
Yeah, I think you're at the point now where you might be able to get away with another nice line somewhere, but it's right at that threshold of making it too busy with lines.
Right, let's just see where this is at, shall we? Let's just see where it's at. Let's take a little red. If you're going to hear something today, I couldn't tell you were going to hear something because hearing something would indicate that you've already heard it. It's the ultimate conundrum of existence. I had to poke a hole in my paints. Probably too vibrant. Let's tone that down with a little touch of blue. Just the tiniest amount. I got a little palette over here, so you can't really see it, sorry. And as you can see, there's lots of different things you can do with this tape. Like, here's my, tell me when I'm on screen. There we go. This is my houndstooth. I was able to get this nice straight line. I was able to block off and get nice straight lines on these blocks and create these interesting shapes on the sides. And that's kind of what I'm doing here, right? I was able to get this nice crisp line on the nose, and then I freehanded along the edge there and just kind of freehanded that. But able to get these nice crisp lines on these ships with some tape is always super nice. That one I actually freehanded, and I realized that was a silly move, and I taped off the second one. That was a lessons learned. Oh, thanks. I'm very happy with my X-wing ships, my little bounty hunter cadre. So I'm not going to be super precise yet. Just want to get some red on there. Just let that tape do its job. To mask off the area, a little water, a little red, a little blue. Yeah, I don't have a lot of information on BK's sweet teaser schedule. I only know the stuff I'm part of. Like when he's like, play this on stream tomorrow. And I'm like, yes, sir. Super excited for a Razor Crest. Myself, I love the look of that ship. I was able to get one painted up. Started on stream a couple weeks ago. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. I made the engines super glowy because it's kind of the theme of my ships. I needed that cool blue to go against that rusty red. Just creates a nice contrast.
If you can come over to the left a little more.
Boop.
And then up a touch.
Oh, so many demands.
Oh, sorry, I meant forward, not up. Towards the
So many demands.
Here, I'll shoot you the live view. Now you can find it. Yeah, there you go.
Whoop. Looks like I got a little extra blue in that batch. And then, what do we say? This is going to crisscross over. See, I got a little red on that white. That's fine. We'll touch it up later. I'm going to flip this around. I can touch that up, like I said. There's a joker on the other side of the wall, cracking jokes. There's a funny guy happening. Oh yeah, I'm wearing my beanie. Should I tell him why I'm wearing my beanie? Because I forgot to shave my head. We're just going to pick all the spots we want red. Give them a couple layers. That layer got dark. That's a little extra blue got mixed in on accident. That's okay. Oh, I'm not used to painting on the edge of the table. Let's darken it all up because I kind of like that dark red, purple. Alright, I think one more band across this back. I don't care if it spills over because I'm planning on painting that back of that engine gray. Can we be like this for a minute?
No, I can't see anything now. I can adjust the camera though.
Can we adjust the camera just for a moment?
I'm gonna cut to you though.
Awkward. I'm just going to keep painting while Tony adjusts the camera behind me. Now everybody can see Tony Konachek.
Scoot it this way.
Why am I moving? Oh, because everything is there. I need it up for just a moment.
There you go.
This is live TV, kids. Yeah, I think I can guess from here on out. We're just doing it live here. Any tips for painting with masking tape to avoid bleeding? Don't go with just straight masking tape. You need a good painter tape. And then make sure it's sealed all the way down, and don't paint with super wet paint. The paint should not be wet. It should not be liquidy. I can just paint like this the rest of the time, I think. Is that okay?
If you're cool, that's it, yeah. It's up to you, man.
Like, I'm trying to avoid really, really wet paint when I get near the tape. Back here, it's not as big deal. Just kind of slopping paint on. But when I move up to where the mask is, I want to just make sure that paint is pretty, solid. Also, don't go at it. Go over the top, and then touch up.
There's another question that somebody has about not using a milky consistency of normal painting when you're doing the tape. Can you expand a little bit on why you don't want it to be too wet?
Yeah, if it's too wet, it will run under the tape sometimes. So you're just wanting thicker paint. That's why I actually enjoy thick paint. We can get into the discussion of dropper bottles versus paint pots. I actually prefer paint pots because the paint in the paint pot's typically thicker. Because you can always thin paint, but it's much more difficult to thick paint. And so thicker paint is more versatile because you can make it thin. And the more control you have over paint, the more techniques you can use. So philosophically, what we're getting at is, if I want thick paint here because it won't bleed under the tape. I'm actually not using a wet palette. I'm using a well palette, as you can see in the background actually. Wet palette keeps the paint very, very, very thin. So I don't want it super thin right now. Milky consistency to me also is sort of not, I think it's a good starting point, but I don't think it's a hard rule. it's a very old school way of thinking about paint, and paint has changed a lot in the past 30 years since that phrase and that philosophy was sort of touted. See, I got a little bleed, but it's fine because I'm going to just touch it up. The right paint consistency is the consistency that's right for the job. Sometimes the paint needs to be thicker, sometimes it needs to be thinner. It's all about your process and your application and your technique in which you are currently using. So being versatile, learning to be versatile is more important than learning how to just make skim milk paint. Like I said, many new paint formulations just don't kind of hold to that same value. So we want to update our whites. So I'm going to mix something together over here on the side. This is my wet palette. Slightest touch of blue. In there. See, the tape was there but bled inside the crevices, which I'm not super concerned about. That'll be taken care of when I do a wash over the white. But I do want to clean it up just to get a feel for how it looks. So you can see here, this bled in the crevice because the tape did not go down in there. This is Dallas being sloppy. We're okay with mistakes. Miniature painting is the fine art of correcting one's mistakes, so it's kind of like life. You just you do and you go whoops, and then you grow and change course, develop new ways to think. And approach stuff. Just let this dry and slowly clean up. Like I said, I'm not trying to rush. If I don't get done, I don't get done today. This is more about just kind of the approach to repainting and using tape, how to watch for those pitfalls. Let's run an edge. All right, what do we think so far? We got a little diamond on the front. I feel like something can go over the cockpit in red. I think we want to run this line over the center. Am I off the camera? What am I doing wrong?
No, you're still good. I'll do the right hand side, it'll be fine.
A porg? What are we doing with a porg? Porgs are how you summon a Pagani. That guy loves porgs. Might be a spirit animal. Okay, we got a diamond on the front. Should I put any other symbol anywhere? Maybe another diamond somewhere? Or another slash?
Is there an identifying mark on any of your other ships?
Well, this isn't for my, burp, 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 burp. I gotta think my brain's meats. This isn't for my squad of debonair bounty hunters. This is some rebel scum. Let's do some yellow front. This is what I brought the gloves for, so I can handle this ship better. I feel like there should be another spot of yellow. Let's do a bar. Like a command bar. Something like that. I feel like there needs to be something else to indicate, maybe some successful mission marks. My triangle's a little wonked. Do you think these wing tips should be yellow?
It could be good. I was gonna say maybe add another second bar. Otherwise, it kind of looks like you maybe forgot to do it on the other side. So maybe doing the wingtips in yellow will help balance it out.
Yeah, I like asymmetry. Does that feel more like a command stripe now or something? I think so.
It does.
Ninja de Taroa. Yeah. I'm super enjoying painting some ships. So this area feels pretty plain, but I think that just needs some I think that needs some ship gray. We're going to put a little brown and black and white together. the slight touch of blue. Am I on camera?
Yep.
So I'm not going to super worry about the underside until later on off stream. Yeah, this will help balance this all out. Do some more yellow stripes like Sabine's tie. I'd have to look at Sabine's tie.
I'm looking at it right now. It's got a lot of horizontal, like random horizontal orange and yellow striping along the panels on a typewriter.
Okay. Let's do some Sabine lines. We're just going to call them Sabine lines. We're going to finish painting off these engine capsules first. So even though this isn't part of my squad, and I'm kind of just doing it mainly to learn more about the processes of painting X-Wing ships and sort of philosophy, and then also just using that tape. And who knows, maybe I'll go on my desk and I'll get inspired and do a whole Rebel. So that fills that out. I think this area is the area that's really bothering me. It's just too much white space in that one area, so we're gonna add some dark to that. Yeah, we are building a website. There's a lot of ins and outs. We're a very, very busy place and growing. A lot of stuff's happening. So it definitely needs something across there, doesn't it? Whoa, those are wild. So I'm black out the cockpit real quick. And I'll re-up those white lines. A little bit later. All right, so I'm looking at Sabine's tie, and there's a lot of like neat graphical elements running horizontally. So are we thinking we're playing with that philosophy on this? Does that fit the rebellion nature of this ship? Does that matter? We do what we want. This is our ship. Mine and yours, stream. Mine and yours. I feel like I just got suckered into freehanding a bunch of stuff, actually. Oh, that's going a little cattywampus. All right, I need my glove. Can they see?
Yeah, I'd go a little to your left. Yeah, there you go. Better.
Somebody's phone's ringing.
Quiet here in the tank.
Man, I am gone, kids. Sorry. That's not very entertaining. This is some Star Wars shapes for real though. Thinking hard about what I'm doing to exclusion. It's kind of like turning the radio down so I can see the street signs better. I think these lines make it feel like it's a very speedy ship.
Also, tell me if I'm wrong. When you're making those tiny little lines, is part of it you're holding your breath to keep steady?
I'm doing the opposite. Does stream remember why we do not hold our breath? We talked about it before, stream. Curious if they remember. Oh, are we not, am I being too quiet? and I'm not Bob Rossing enough. I mean, we can talk about stuff. What would you like to talk about? Give me a topic. Driveways. You don't drive on them. No, what's the? I can't remember the joke now. You park on driveways, drive on parkways. Somebody called me out, and I feel all hurt. Not doing good enough for them. We can talk about sandwiches and soups. This made Pagani very upset because he hates it when I talk about this. We can talk about how it's so wonderful painting like little tiny lines. You don't hold your breath. Oh, yeah, that's what we're talking about. So you don't hold your breath because when you hold your breath, your body goes into stress. Your body's like, why are we not breathing? Breathing is the vital and important step in our existence. Please continue doing that. So you don't want to hold your breath. You want to breathe consistently. You want to focus the breath. And then what I like to do is so say you're painting a detail like an eye. As you go into the eye, as you go into that super fine detail, you take your breath and you release to do the fine detail part. That keeps your body very relaxed, keeps you very focused, keeps you on task. So for this, I'm not really painting a single fine detail. I'm just continuously moving the brush slowly over the top of the element. And like a lot of times when you're seeing that brush move, you're seeing it move a million times, right? Just stroke, 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 stroke. I'm not actually touching it. Yeah, it's bottom of the exhale. You let it out. You take you take the line, take the shot. But a lot of times when you're seeing me do like these little fine lines, I'm not touching the miniature on every one of those brush strokes. What I'm doing is I'm teaching my hand the brush stroke. I'm training myself. I'm moving the hand over and over and over and over and over and over again above the miniature ever so slightly, and looking at where the brush is and making sure I'm staying in that place where I want it to be. And then breathing constantly. And then on that exhale, at the bottom of the exhale, I bring the brush in, I touch it down, and I let it touch. And especially on stuff like this, I'm just touching the miniature, just ever so slightly and gently. So we're just slowly, slowly, slowly. An interesting thing is I actually kind of shake a little bit, but a lot of it is about training and body posture. So making sure that you are keeping your chest up and straight so you can breathe. You're opening up the diaphragm. So you're practicing proper breathing techniques. You don't want to slouch. Slouching creates tension. Tension creates drama. Great for shows, video games, movies and stuff like that. Bad for painters. You don't want to create drama. You want to breathe, relax. And so anything you can do. So I like to keep my torso up. I like to keep focus. I like to make sure that my body is not under stress or duress. I mean, that should be an end goal for everybody, right? Just no stress or duress. And also just being accepting of, I might mess this up. That goes a long, long, long way. I might mess this up. You know? Yeah, so that we're still talking about that kind of stuff, right? So both my elbows are ankled. I'm gonna ankle my elbows, Tony. Both my elbows are anchored to the table. I'm locking my hand together. A lot of times when I'm painting miniatures, I bump wrists, and I lock this together. I can't really do that with this because of the long, flat plane of existence. So I'm not quite able to anchor that way. So I'm anchoring the best I can. You can see my pinky's anchoring a lot. So I'm anchoring myself. I'm keeping my back straight. I'm in a wide stance because I'm at a standing desk. But I have a wide stance because I want to keep that back straight and I want to keep my diaphragm open. I want to be able to breathe and be comfortable. See, thanks. He switched it over to that one. And then that way I can just move freely across the miniature, taking my time and painting in these nice, delicate lines. And like I said, the big thing is getting over the fear of mistakes. Mistakes are inevitable. You know? Make mistakes all the time. And that's part of learning and growing, you know? I always taught my kids, you can't learn by winning. No one's ever learned a thing from winning. It's the loss that takes you to that next level. I mean, just even as a professional painter, it was the mess ups that taught me more than anything else. It was the trying something and getting a critique and getting a proper critique, right? I say it all the time in the studio, you know, don't take criticism from somebody you wouldn't take advice from. So finding that proper person to take advice, getting that advice and then learning from it was super vital for growth and development. And the losing made me hungry. And hungry, those are the people you got to watch out for. It's always going to be a person more hungry than you that's going to take that spot or get that thing you want. I'm just waiting for that hungry person to show up on my doorstep. Take my spot. Let's make a wide line. You know, I wasn't going to do very many, Tony. I'm sorry, I monologued there for a little bit. I wasn't going to do very many, but I'm like, I'm in it, and I'm like, oh, look at Fabergé trying to be sneaky.
Trying to be quiet over here.
Yeah, anchoring the pinky, anxiety with my mistakes, but that's my OCD. Yeah, and that's understandable, but also recognizing it goes a long, long ways. I'm not the villain. I do monologue. I mean, I'm in an empty room with a camera and a bucket of paint. Like, I got nothing to do but monologue. Let's do a little. Let's do a little one right there. Where else? I think we need some here and maybe here. Let's do some here. Let's do some free floating. So what I mean by that is not anchored by a line or another color. Just kind of existing in space in the middle of the field of white. See, like that's anchored by the gray. Trying a different shape, not sure I'm going to like it. Yeah, I'm not sold on that. We'll have to fix that because I'm really not sold on that one. Make sure the paint is wet. All right, what do you see, Tony? What do your art eyes see?
I don't know, I'm liking it just fine. I think, if anything, like, it might be a little hard to tell from here, but they're all one color, right?
There's a few variations just from the random mixing of paint on my palette, but we'll clean that up and we'll unify them.
Yeah, I dig it. Thinking about maybe stacking a lighter yellow against some of those lines.
Yeah, I think the next step would be once you establish all these is kind of coming in with a light color and kicking them up. Not completely filling in what you painted, letting a little bit of this darker color shine through, of course, because that creates contrast. And just refining what we've done. Making sure the lines look cool and make sense. He's gone plaid. I think that works pretty good. I like it. I think what we got left is some touching up of the whites. This spot right here, I totally did not like that shape. That looks way better. Use the edge of the brush for this stuff. Just like so. Rebel ship coming at you, gonna blast you in the noggin, put a little blue glow back here in the engines. I think this is engine. I haven't looked at the reference on the back. I can always cover that up later if it's not. I know these are.
You're good.
I like ships with giant engine ports because that's where I get to put all the cool glow. Then we take a little bit of black, mix it into the white color. Use a little medium. Throw a little quick wash. Gives it that little dinginess. Gets down in those lines. Gives it that pop, that zazz, that zing. I'm just using that second brush to kind of peel off any excess paint that I don't want. Like that's too much, so peel that off, stretch it out over the white, get that dirty Star Wars feel. Like I said, we want to touch up the yellow later anyway, so dingying up the yellow isn't bad now. We're going a little late. All right, yeah, I got stuff to do too. I'm going to get in trouble. I got meetings. But I'm having fun. And I'm so close to pretty much done. I think everybody understands. BK will vouch for me. BK, will you give me a hall pass for staying late in art? all through high school, my art teacher always gave me passes for staying late in art to work on projects. And then my English teacher was never happy with me. All right, we're almost done. Final moments for questions. Remember, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you can join us over here at Twitch for Atomic Mass Transmissions Live. Tuesdays and Thursdays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we paint miniatures. And on Thursdays is our game stream. Tomorrow, you can join back in for some excellent gaming. We have a showdown between me and Mr. Will Schick. So you could join in and heckle us and root for whoever you want to win. Should be a good time. I'm calling this. All I need to do is just a wash for the end, yeah. Just a little wash on the end, just to get some lines inside, or some dark inside those lines, and give it that Star Wars grunge. I still need to do the bottom, no big deal, but we got the top done. We're gonna bump up that sweet jet engine blasty glow. So gonna be super great. I'm really happy with this, Tony. I'm really happy with this. So yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join us here at Twitch. And remember, you can check us out on social media, Twitter and Instagram, for all the latest news, information, announcements coming from Atomic Mass Games. So until next time, see you later, and go be the hero you want to be. Bye. I'm going to stand like this now and pretend like the camera went off me, because see you later, everyone. Goodbye. Bye-bye.